Hello YouTube, you're the Dragon here, doing another segment in shifting lighter weight gear. Today I'll be talking about footwear. I've had more footwear than are pictured here, but these are the ones that I still currently have. So I figured I'd just kind of go through these ones. I'll start off with right, move to the left. These are the ones I was using for a while. They're Obōz. I think they're the Sawtooth. They're leather uppers, waterproof, breathable. Overall, they're okay boots. They're relatively heavy. They're about 3 pounds 4 ounces, so 3 1/4 pounds. They worked okay, but I didn't necessarily need this much support for lightweight hiking, and I have a problem that my feet sweat a lot and I'm allergic to shoe glue, so I would end up getting like small rashes on my feet because my feet would sweat so much that the shoe glue would actually seep through. So from these I kind of switched to this one here, which is pictured because I can't seem to find the shoes anywhere. I think I might have tossed them out. These are the Merrell Moab ventilators. These were definitely lighter, gave a little more movement, were more comfortable for sure. These ones were about 1 pound 14 ounces, so definitely, you know, pretty much a pound, a little bit more than a pound lighter. These worked relatively well. I actually had 2 pairs of these after the first pair wore out. I got a second pair. They worked well. Still had the same problem with my feet sweating a lot, but they were definitely effective. They're a decent pair of shoes. From there, I got these. These were on sale at REI when I got them. They're Salomon. They're kind of like, they call them sandals because the perforations here. These breathed excellent. Their tread on the bottom was pretty reasonable. The one problem I actually had with these is that they weren't very comfortable for long hikes. For short day trips or just kind of hanging out in like rivers and streams, these work great. But for long distance hiking, these made my feet feel so comfortable by the end. And then about almost 3 years back, a cousin of mine for gift decided that he wanted to get me a pair of Vibram 5 fingers. Initially, I thought these shoes were very weird looking. I didn't really care for them that much just by their aesthetics, but I'd never actually tried them. But we went out and I tried a pair on, and I loved them. I've been using them ever since. I wear them for every day, just wearing them around everywhere. One thing you'll find if you wear Vibram 5 fingers is that you're constantly going to have people asking you, are they comfortable? The answer is yes, they are extremely comfortable. Some people don't like to have their toes individually kind of socketed. I don't have that problem. It is kind of an awkward feeling when you try them on for the first time, but that goes away relatively quick. Within about 5 minutes that went away for me, and I've been wearing them ever since. The pair I use when I do backpacking most of the time are these. They're the Trek Sports. They have a lugged sole, about 4 millimeters. They're obviously very flexible. The pair here, which is the ones that I'm currently using, weigh 11 ounces. So, I mean, less than a pound. Super, super lightweight. Very comfortable. Use it on all my backpacking excursions. They're extremely breathable. If I go hiking and I step in a stream, these will dry in about 15-20 minutes. The one caveat I make for that is they do sell socks. If I'm wearing socks, my socks take longer to dry than the shoes. So if I'm going to be going to places where I know my feet are going to be getting wet, I just don't wear socks. I throw them in my backpack and I just wear these, you know, with my bare foot, which is more than adequate. In California, I like these shoes. If you're back east, they may or may not be as well suited for you. I mean, during winter, you'll obviously have issues. But for me, these shoes are supremely excellent. In general, the minimalist style shoes are an excellent choice. One thing I always heard is that, oh, well, you don't get the ankle support. I've never had that problem. I don't have extraordinarily strong ankles, but I did notice that my dexterity improved, my posture improved, the muscles in my feet definitely improved drastically. So they've been these things have been a godsend. I mean, I've gone further on these shoes than I could have ever gone on these shoes. I've done, probably the most I've done in a day was 28 miles on these shoes. On average, on the longer hikes, I'm doing about 12 to 17 miles. Shorter hikes are like 7 to 8 miles. But they're really comfortable. And so I definitely would say if you're interested in these types of shoes, I would highly recommend them. If you don't like having the individual toes, they have many different styles of minimalist shoes that have the same weight. They're just completely locked in as far as it's just one solid piece like more traditional footwear. This pair over here are my Vibram 5-finger Lantras. Now these ones I use when I go into the snow. I've used these for hiking up Mount Baldy. I use them for snow hikes to Mount Low and Mount Wilson and camped overnight. I've used them for hiking in Big Bear. And I definitely, they're a little stiffer than the Trek Sports, so I wouldn't wear them for just any old hiking. But if it is snowing and you want that little extra bit of warmth, these are a great option. They're fleece lined. They have a neoprene cuff at the top, and they're obviously a little bit higher. This prevents snow from getting in, and it does provide exceptional warmth. The other benefit I found from these shoes is since they were made to be washed, they seem to use a hydrophobic glue, and it actually works. I don't have the same problem with rashes. My feet instantly, like within a week, healed once I started wearing these. So I no longer had rashes, and I had rashes throughout my life from things just because all shoes that I was wearing had that type of shoe glue. Haven't had them with this. I don't know if it's just that they breathe so well that I don't have the same seepage issue, or the hydrophobic glue just doesn't come away with sweat. But either way, these have been my best choice that I've used. I've used them for carrying, I think the max loads I'm carrying now is like at most 35 pounds, and most of that is actually water weight. So that dissipates over time. But the comfort of the minimal style shoes is just exceptional. I cannot say enough about. Just give it a try. I mean, a lot of people wear just cross trainers. You can go lighter. There was a study done in the 80s by the military. I'll post a link in the video that said that pretty much for every pound on your feet, it equals 5 pounds on your back. So with this one, it would have been about 15 to 18 pounds on my back, whereas this, 5 pounds. Because, I mean, well, this is even less than 5 pounds because this is just 11 ounces. The Lantras, which I use for snow, are 1 pound, 1 ounce. So the shoes that I wear in snow are lighter than these and the Moab ventilators that I was using for hiking in the desert. And then when I was going to the snow, I was carrying these ones. Now, there is one exception. If I'm not hiking, if I'm just going to be lounging around in the snow, I might use these, but I might not, just for the aspect of if you're going to be in deeper snow for longer periods of time, you're going to want some sort of Thinsulate or another sort of insulation to keep your feet warm. When I'm hiking, not a problem. The other benefit is these actually work with crampons, like not the more high-tech crampons, but the rubberized ones like Yak Trax, and there's a couple other manufacturers. They fit actually over both my 5 fingers. So I've actually done over ice with both pairs of these shoes, and just threw on like those little mini crampons for those sort of endeavors. So I obviously would appreciate your questions or comments. As I said, if you're thinking about trying minimalist shoes, just you can go to, like, one benefit of REI is that if you buy something and you don't like it, you can return it at almost any time and they'll take it back. So I definitely say if you're thinking about it, give it a try. Just see if they have a return policy, just so if it doesn't work out for you, that you can exchange them for something that's more your comfort level. But I do recommend them highly. I do not recommend the Salomons for just occasionally walking around. Maybe if you're going to be hanging out in like a river or stream, yeah, that's fine. But for hiking, this pair particularly did not work out for 2 reasons. The back strap that kind of holds your heel in tight comes loose constantly. It just didn't work. And then in general, yeah, your foot will tend to shift around. I actually ended up getting blisters with these. I didn't even get blisters with these boots, and I got blisters with these. So that's just a personal opinion, but all my videos are based off of personal opinion. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, one last thing I will kind of state, the Trek Sports I only use for when I'm hiking. Like right now, I'm wearing a set of the Pilas, but you'll notice the tread pattern is different. These are made more for street, and so I use these for running and just wearing around school. And I actually have probably about 7 or 8 pairs of these right now. A couple pairs in each style. So I have another pair of Trek Sports for hiking. I have another pair of the Baquilas for when I'm going around town. I have a couple pairs of the KSOs for running when I want no feeling whatsoever. About the only downside from the 5 fingers that I've personally found is that on this first big toe, you'll see there's a tiny bit of red fabric showing. Over time, I tend to wear a hole here. Now, in most cases, I can just sew it up and then put a little bit of shoe glue on there, and that'll solve the problem for a little while. But usually they'll wear a hole in the toe here before I actually wear out the actual tread. I actually still have the very first pair that was purchased for me. So they do last a significant long time. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Questions and comments are appreciated, and I'll see you guys in my next video.